let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. 6. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
What a weird start to the morning. Good to have you along on a Thursday. This is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for bringing us into your car this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate your taking the time every morning to bring us up on your television, on your phone screen. Hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and, of course, start leaving your comments in the comment section. And you can follow us on our social media channels, X, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. Here's what happened today, because Ross had a weird thing. I had a weird thing. Chrome is weird, Ross. Chrome is really, really weird. You got in this morning, and you're like, hey, I'm having troubles. And I'm like, well, I see you just fine. And then you got up and started messing around, and I noticed I froze. And I'm like, that's weird. And then I went back out in my Chrome, the whole brand new Chrome page. And then I tried to go back in and like, you must shut off Zoom and Skype. And I'm like, I'm not on anything else. This is the only thing I'm on.
Skype.
So and I'm like, I don't know what else to get on.
Do you have your MySpace open also?
Yeah, I know. Does Skype even still exist? I don't even know if Skype's still around. So I had to like restart the entire computer. I know that these are problems that most people don't care about. They care that we're on the air right now. But it was just really weird. 2 minutes before I was supposed to hit that live button, I'm like, oh.
Well, like an idiot, I also decided 2 minutes before we went on the air, you know what? I don't like the fact that every morning my the sun comes in behind me on this this window, and so I decided I'm gonna put something up here to block that sun. So that's what I was doing. I got up to move things around. So we're ready to go now, man. Kicking butt.
Ready to go.
Yes.
Todd Stepsis, the Northern Iowa head football coach, going to join us at 7 o'clock. Bruno's going to jump in at 7:30. Ross and I started going down a rabbit hole before, and give us some grace here because we want to go down a rabbit hole. Ross was all in a good mood this morning. He was brewing his coffee. I could hear it dripping in the back. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Coffee."
I was just being a smartass. I said, "Man, those folks at Mr. Coffee, they've really nailed this coffee thing. I'm not sure anybody that makes a better cup of coffee than Mr. Coffee."
And I go, you love Mr. Coffee because you're a Yankee fan. And you looked at me like I was an idiot.
I didn't know what you're talking about.
And I said, Joe DiMaggio was the spokesperson for Mr. Coffee. And it just blew your mind away. And I'm like, God, I can't believe Ross doesn't know that Joe DiMaggio was the spokesperson. But it just shows what 10 years of difference makes in age, right?
Yeah.
Because Joe DiMaggio, to me, wasn't a baseball player. He was a coffee pot spokesman because I didn't grow up watching Joe DiMaggio. I knew Joe DiMaggio was selling me coffee makers.
He started to become, this is the rabbit hole we started to go down. Like, wait, when did Joe DiMaggio do that? Was Joe DiMaggio the first celebrity influencer? And so it took us down a big rabbit hole. And so Joe DiMaggio, to answer a couple of those questions, Joe DiMaggio was the spokesperson for Mr. Coffee for a little over a decade. From 1970.
Over 20 years.
Oh, was it 20 years?
It was 20 years.
Then look at you. I didn't realize. I thought that it said from the early 70s to the mid-80s.
So they said almost 20 years he was the spokesman. I don't even know what year Joe DiMaggio died in. But yeah, I mean, Joe DiMaggio to me was always just, I knew he was a good baseball player, but he was an old guy selling me coffee pots.
So that got us thinking, like, was he the first one?
And the answer is no.
The answer is no by a long ways, man. The first celebrity endorser was some actress back in like the 1800s. But then it really started, you nailed it, Trav, because you're like, wait a minute, in the 40s, celebrities were endorsing cigarette brands. That's where it really took off. Bob Hope was a spokesperson for American Express. Was that what it was? Was
Yep,
Bob Hope
American Express. Yep.
In the
Never
late
leave home without
50s. And then Joe Namath for Hanes, but it wasn't for Hanes like men's underwear. Joe Namath wore pantyhose. Uh-oh.
Tough they were, so they wouldn't streak, right? I mean, so they wouldn't rip and tear. He's, I'm a man. I'll put on pantyhose and show you how good they are, to get women to buy pantyhose. Because dudes weren't going to buy pantyhose, but he wanted to show when I'm able to put on pantyhose, they don't rip.
What a weird thing.
I know.
Joe Namath throwing on pantyhose?
But now that we've seen Joe Namath in a lot of different things, does it surprise you that he would do something that vulnerable?
I want to kiss you. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. I want to kiss
Susie
you.
Culber.
That was amazing. I'm here with NFL legend Joe Namath. Joe, what do you think about the first half? I want to kiss you. You're so pretty.
And now
the big ones. Then the big ones started, okay? Because after Joe Namath, the next one that's labeled is Bill Cosby.
Jello. Jello pudding. Jello pudding.
I don't remember Jello as much as the Jello pudding pops, right?
Yeah,
and he did the pudding pops thing, and then he did all of his little goofy. Was he doing all that just to distract the woman so he could dabble the roofie?
Maybe.
Look up here. Look at my fancy hands. Dabble, dabble. So
Rob brings up a good. Jim Palmer did jockey shorts.
Oh, Jim Palmer was a great pitcher, dude.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Is he still with us?
Do you remember that he tried to make a comeback? Do you remember that, Trav? He was
don't.
in the 90s because Jim Palmer pitched into the late 80s. Probably one of the best pitchers in baseball in the early 80s. And then,
Jim Palmer, by the way, still with us. He's 80 years old.
Yeah, he tried to make a comeback and almost made the Orioles again in like the mid-90s. So, and then somebody mentioned Cosby earlier, and I saw some people in the comment section. There were a couple others with Cosby. You're right. Mike says Cosby's creepy. You're right. Nobody would argue that.
But we didn't know it at the time he was creepy.
Bill Cosby pimped Coke and Jell-O. I don't remember him doing Coke, I guess. I remember Cindy Crawford doing Pepsi. That's a canon moment for a young man in America.
Yes, it is.
That's a core memory is Cindy Crawford going up and hitting the Pepsi machine.
You know, when it comes to athletes, I don't really pay attention to what athletes promote today. Of course, do you know Michael Jordan more for Nike, ballpark hot dogs?
Oh, come on.
Or Hanes or Hanes underwear. I probably all three, but Nike's number one.
All three. No, it's not all three. What was the second one you even said?
Ballpark
hot dogs?
Yeah.
I've never even seen Michael Jordan do that.
Really?
No.
Oh, I have.
No, Michael Jordan is Nike through and through. Michael Jordan is Nike. What was the third one you said? Hanes?
Sure. Hanes underwear?
I guess, kind of. I would even go with Brian. For Jordan, I would say Gatorade number 2.
Okay.
I'd say Nike number 1, and then Gatorade had that amazing commercial.
Be like Mike.
Be like Mike. But then the even better one than the fun song. Sometimes I dream that he is me. Got to see that's how I dream to be. Bum 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 bum. That one. The better one was the one where everything went into slow motion. Do you remember this commercial?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I do or not.
I'm telling you, because that's the most realistic thing of like what happens when you're watching a sporting event and something magical starts to happen. Like it just feels like everything else around you goes into slow motion because you're so focused on that. That was a good one. So I'd say for Jordan, I'd say it's Nike and Gatorade.
O.J. Simpson did Hertz Rent-A-Car?
O.J. Simpson did a lot of them. O.J. running through the airport?
Yes.
Hurdling the seats, dipping and diving around the suitcases. That's a good one.
I forget who the first football players who did chunky soup. Was it the was it the Barber Brothers? No, I think it was before that. But Chunky Soup has had a number of, and Wheaties doesn't count to me because Wheaties. It was like this. Being on the box of a Wheaties was like winning a gold medal, right? I mean, they kind of rotated it all the time. And you weren't necessarily a spokesperson. It was like a trophy. It's like, I got to be, a 99% on Madden football. Being on a box of Wheaties was an accomplishment.
All right, I'm trying to find out the Chunky Soup ads, okay?
Rob says Donovan McNabb for Chunky?
That's the first one I thought of. Rob, thank you. The first guy that I thought of was Donovan McNabb with his mom. Remember that?
Yes.
I don't know that it was really his mom. I don't think it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. But she was like in the locker room making Donovan McNabb Campbell's Chunky Soup. Yeah, I'm with you on the Wheaties thing. Wheaties is more of like you got to be on the box. But I didn't consider Mary Lou Retton a brand ambassador for Wheaties.
For Wheaties.
And
Bob Uecker in Miller Lite. But most people didn't know Bob Uecker was even a baseball because it was. If you were a hardcore baseball fan, you were. But there's probably a certain amount of people that thought Bob Uecker was he was Mr. Belvedere in Mr. Belvedere. He was in these Miller Lite commercials, and he was the play-by-play guy for the Brewers, forgetting that he was an actual player. I must be in the front row.
Somebody said, it's wild to think that Bruce Jenner was on a Wheaties box and now is a chick. Thinks he's a chick. Norm Macdonald's got a great bit about that. I love Norm Macdonald.
How about this one? And this one was very influential in my life as a kid. Mean Joe Green and Coke.
Somebody else put that up there earlier. Somebody said Mean Joe Green. That was the great commercial where he was like it was after the game, and the little boy is in the tunnel, and he's like, and he throws him the jersey.
Yeah, threw him the jersey. It was like an exchange. Here's a Coke, Mean Joe. But dude, here's a jersey, little kid.
Bob Uecker and I must be in the front row.
Yeah. Arnold Palmer and Pennzoil Oil.
Don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, you got to be a certain age to that. Good stuff. I mean, this is what we talk about in the morning. Do you think we get together and talk about the Iowa-Oregon football game or the big games coming up tonight? Ross just sets me off on this Mr. Coffee thing. But what was even more interesting about the Mr. Coffee conversation was not that Joe DiMaggio was its spokesperson starting in the early 70s. It was the modern day coffee maker really wasn't invented until 1972.
Yeah, the thing that the thing that I'm using right now that I think a lot of people in America probably have a Mr. Coffee. It's super easy. You can set it. It can be on a timer, and it's just a drip coffee maker. Until 1972, most coffee in homes was done with a percolator. A giant, like what I think of the church coffee pot.
Yeah, where you're making 60 cups
cauldron.
at a time.
Yeah.
we take this to Fort Robinson. My mother-in-law always takes the giant cauldron, right? And we have to get up. When I get up to do the show, I plug it in at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's not done till like 6 a.m. It takes that long to brew your coffee when you use the church-grade coffee maker. Now, you put 5 scoops in a filter, and it's done in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. But that technology's only been around for 50 years. 55 years.
Gary Presnall just wrote into me. He's listening. He says Joe Green for Coca-Cola was the one he remembers, too. How about this? Because one of my buddies, Chris, wrote in and said Reggie White did Chunky Soup.
Really?
And then some other folks are saying that, too. Like, hey, Reggie White might have been the first Chunky Soup spokesperson. He was there before... He'd have been before McNabb, and I do remember that.
Does celebrity endorsements, did it work more in the 70s, 80s, and 90s than it does today? Because now they call it influencer marketing, right?
It's true,
It is, and influencer marketing is nothing new. When you see your favorite athlete or your favorite actor or actress on Instagram, Facebook, or any other social media thing, pimping Core Power, and we're gonna pimp Core Power. We're gonna pimp Fresca. And I guess we are influence marketers in some way.
Can we get a picture of you in the Defender? Can you pimp Willis Automotive with a? Could we get a live shot of Ann Jeanette
driving the Defender through 3 feet of water?
Hopefully
when Saddle Creek in Omaha floods, I know that I'm safe because I can drive through 3 feet of water in my Willis Automotive Defender. If you want to feel safe in rain, snow, if you're climbing the mountain in Colorado, your Willis Automotive will take you to go, no questions asked.
So here's the funny thing. There are rules with endorsements, and we've talked about this. You're not legally allowed to say you use the product unless you actually have used the product. You're not supposed to. And
I'm guilty of this. And what I mean is I'm not guilty. I endorsed Mentality Health for how many years? Probably 4, 5, maybe 6 years.
Way more than that.
Never used Mentality once. And if you go back to my commercials, I never said that I used it. I said what the benefits were, but I never said, hey, I'm experiencing this.
Yeah. But how about this? That rule does not apply to politics. So you can endorse a political candidate and then not vote. That happens quite a bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to vote. You don't have to vote for the person to endorse them. And that happens all the time with celebrity endorsements for politicians.
Everybody says I'm a spokesperson for Skechers. I'm really not, because if you listen to one of my podcasts, I'm actually a spokesperson for G-Defy shoes. And I have a pair of G-Defy shoes that I wear and I endorse on my podcast.
Are you wearing them now?
I am not wearing them now.
I'm
actually, you know what I'm wearing now? Skechers.
Jason Boffman writes in and says Dan Marino for isotoner gloves. And by the way,
yeah.
Jason, you spelled every one of those words correctly there.
That's impressive. That is really impressive.
I mean, not impressive to spell Dan Marino. It's impressive in 2025 to get isotoner right.
I'm surprised he knew what isotoner gloves were. And I don't even know if isotoner gloves are still around, because they were never really that warm.
They are.
They are still around.
They're still around. They're still around. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can go to isotoner.com, baby. Get you some $379 winter gloves.
Shut up.
Swear to God.
Shut up.
Looking at it right now.
$379 for gloves?
That's from a different website. That's from never mind. Maybe not.
Were they worn by Dan Marino?
Are they signed by Dan Marino?
Come with a certificate of authenticity that they were, signed and worn by Dan Marino? Damn. I mean, all I see now is Serena Williams pimping the GLP-1s to lose weight.
I don't even know what that is.
GLP-1s would be, the Ozempic, basically.
Oh, okay.
Where you give yourself a shot.
I haven't seen her for a long time. No. I don't watch.
You and Reverend Ray says, I endorse climbing kites. Of course you do, Ray. Of course you do.
Patrick says he still has a pair of isotoners. Nice.
Damn, if they last that long, they may be worth the $375.
Listen, who knows? Patrick might have just bought them. They might not be that old. Anyway, so that's our rabbit hole of celebrity brand ambassadors. I think that the Jordan with Nike is probably the most effective one ever, right?
That's a good question. Here's the problem with Jordan with Nike is that Air Jordan became its own brand, right? I mean, it is an offshoot. So, yes, because he took his endorsement, made it into a separate brand that blew up.
Let's just talk about what the endorser did for that brand. Honestly, I think Cindy Crawford and Pepsi is probably up there because as a young man, I drank a lot of Pepsi. I was a Pepsi kid, not a Coke kid. And
because
it might have had something to do with that white tank top she was wearing.
Was it the fact that if I drink Pepsi, I might get a bang, Cindy Crawford? Just subconsciously?
I was too young to think of that, but I think there was something there. I really do.
Has a celebrity ever affected your did you ever go, oh, that person's using this, I have to use it? Because I don't wear Nikes that much. I never wore Nikes.
I've never been a Jordan guy. I mean, I've never been a Nike guy. Sweatshop shoes just weren't for me.
The price wasn't for me. I was like, I'm going to pay this much?
The price plus the quality. Nikes are crap shoes. They're uncomfortable. They're made for dollars and then sold for hundreds of dollars. Okay, what about I saw some people talking about Bird and Johnson doing Converse. But when I think of Larry Bird, I think of him and Michael Jordan doing McDonald's. Do you remember the game of horse? Do you remember this commercial?
Yes.
Yeah, and it was like, all right, I'm going to hit it off the rafters, off the bleachers. All right, I'm going to throw it through the window. It's going to go.
But do we remember the marketing more than sometimes the commercials are, okay, you're like, I love the commercial, but I'm still not going to go eat a Big Mac and some Chicken McNuggets. And I'm sure that's a case sometimes where the commercial is so much better than what the actual product is.
Yeah.
And you go try the product, you're like, oh, this isn't that good. Because I never rent from Hertz. Big baller shoes, baby. Big baller shoes.
She says, Ross, your friends had to dress you to go out to the bars. You don't get to shit on my shoes. That's very good. True. I'll sit here quietly. You are absolutely right, Dusty. Hey, I'm going to be doing the Black and Gold Rush from Dusty's house on Saturday.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, Dusty's having a friend party on Saturday, and so going to pack up the gear and take it up to Ankeny.
Wow.
House
on
I
the
helped
road.
Dusty and Luann buy. So it's going to be an endorsement for Ross Peterson with Agency Iowa at the same time. You, too, can live in a luxurious home like this.
See, there's your celebrity endorsement for Agency Iowa.
Yeah. Oh, that is
Patrick
funny.
says, I always think Ross is advertising Willis as a logo is on my screen
shirt.
right
Yeah,
on
it
his
looks
shirt.
Perfect. It's like it fits perfect right there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
But this show, we do endorse Willis Automotive on the show because The Rush is powered by Willis Automotive. 515-517-2303. Todd Stepsis scheduled to join us at 7 o'clock. Bruno's going to jump in at 7:30. Don't forget, in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn grows feed for our livestock, food for our families, and clean burning fuel. For your drive to the game this weekend, drive with clean, unleaded 88 and support Iowa corn farmers. Go to iowacorn.org to pump it up with unleaded 88. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank and Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
November's here, and that means Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And here at Willis, we are thankful for you, our guests, for entrusting us with your vehicle and service needs. The holiday season means travel, and that means extra miles on your car that can cause wear and tear. Save that for your pants after all that turkey. And while we can't fix your slacks, we can make sure your car's in tip-top shape. So come on down to Willis for 10% off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Get ready for a gemtastic day at Fiscus Jewelers. Join us Saturday, November 22nd from 9 to 3 for a gem trunk show you won't want to miss. It's the perfect time to pick up your favorite gemstone and create a custom piece for the holidays. Plus, take $250 off a custom design for this day only. We'll have fun giveaways throughout the day. So if you're looking for that perfect gem, we've got you covered. It's a gemtastic show like no other. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Don't forget, tomorrow on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive, it's the weekly Woohoo, and we'll even take some boo-hoos if you have them from the Iowa Lottery. This week's prize pack includes scratch, match, and win tickets and a lineup of holiday-themed scratch tickets. It's a prize pack valued at $90. That's right, $90 worth of Iowa Lottery tickets. Tomorrow on the weekly Woohoo from the Iowa Lottery on the Rush Radio Show. History was made last night, Ross. Did you know that? History was made?
Okay.
Alex Ovechkin scored his 900th goal. Wow. Here's what I didn't know, and I learned something this morning. First of all, Alex Ovechkin scored his first NHL goal on October 5th of 2005.
Yeah, wow.
2005. Here's what I did not know when it comes to the record. Because he becomes the first, they're like, hey, he becomes the first person to score 1,000 goals. Well, in the NHL, 900,
okay,
900 goals.
Okay.
In the NHL, they have regular season goals, and then they have playoff goals, postseason. And I didn't know records were kept like that because you're right. Does basketball do it that way?
I don't know.
And so when it comes to goals, like Alex Ovechkin, he now has 900, the most ever. Of course, Wayne Gretzky has 984 career goals because Gretzky's
hold on,
considered.
You just said Ovechkin has 900
or 894.
Okay, all right.
So 900, but he doesn't have most ever. Gretzky has 894 regular season, but 1,016 when you combine the playoffs. Ovechkin has 900, and he has 977 with the playoffs. So when you combine them both, Gretzky's still way. I mean, it's going to be hard for Ovechkin to get to. He may get to 1,000 with the playoffs combined, but it's going to be hard to get to 1,000 for regular season.
Most amazing thing about Alexander Ovechkin is not his goals. Have you ever seen his hole-in-one?
No.
He got a hole-in-one the first time he ever played golf.
I hate that.
The first time it was like an outing for the Capitals, and dude, it's such a funny video because he's like, I hit the ball, it's in the hole. I hit the ball one time, it's in the hole. Did you see that? It's in the hole. They're like, you did what? He got a hole-in-one in his first round of golf. Do you remember the story a couple years ago about the 14-year-old girl that did that? Playing with her high school coaches. Her very first outing, she goes out and she gets a hole-in-one. She's like 14 years old as a freshman in high school with the golf coaches. Could you imagine the golf coaches standing there going, just went in?
Do you think? Well, obviously that shows that a hole-in-one is purely luck.
It's not purely luck. It's not pure. Don't say that. Don't say it's purely luck, dude. When we had on, who was the guy that we had on that was the seniors player who had? Oh man, why can't we think of his name?
I can't remember his name, but he's had what 12, 13 holes in one that counted
in competition.
Yeah.
He was clear to say, like, I don't even know how many I have outside of competition.
Okay, with the 14-year-old girl and Alex Ovechkin, it's luck, pure luck.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because? And I'm just throwing this out there because you're not even thinking about it. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Every time I step up to a par 3, I'm like, I'm going to hit a hole-in-one. This is going to be the time I'm going to strike the ball perfectly. And I'm actually thinking that I'm going to hit a hole-in-one, and then it goes 20 yards and just right because I can't hit the damn thing off the tee.
What I thought you were going to say is every time I step above the ball, I think, don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. Are your hands in the right spot? Where's the club? Where's the hole? Look up. Okay. Watch the ball. Eye on the ball. Eye on the ball. Chunk.
And then you kind of flick your wrist a little bit to give that little golf spin. You know, you're like, oh, I'm looking like a golfer because I'm like, just fake hits.
Thank you. John Alexander was the guy Kirk Triplett was the guy. Thank you so much, John. Thanks for listening and thanks for setting that up for us too. That was super cool. Yeah, Kirk Triplett was like, we're like, how many hole-in-ones? Do you have any hole-in-ones? He's like, well, I have like 12 in competition. What do you mean in competition? He's like, I don't even count the ones that aren't.
That we're messing around. You and I are like, what?
Yeah. And I told you about Courtney's stepdad, who's he's a Hall of Fame bowler, and he has so many 300 games. He's the same way. I talked to him about it, and he's like, I don't even know how many like league nights I've got. I don't know. I don't count the ones until they're in competition.
What do they say? Like a lot of these guys strive for the 299 or the 298 because it's actually harder to get.
He's that guy. He's that guy that he's had so many 300 games. And I said something like, yeah, he's got like 25 300 games. And I saw him the next time. He's like, Ross, I have like 130. Like, what? What?
You want us to just, strikes are nothing to me.
Can you imagine that? If I go bowling in the 10 frames, I will be lucky if I get a strike or two. And if they happen to be back-to-back, look out, baby. I'm on fire.
Do you take more pride in picking up a strike or picking up a spare? Because
the spare the spare, I think that's a good question. For an idiot like me, I think it's the spare. Because I'm with the strike, I'm just rolling. I'm just trying to keep it down the middle of the lane. And then they all fall down. But with the spare, you're like, all right, I got to hit this thing right there. And then you do that.
You have to be more precise.
Yeah, look at that. I did what I wanted to do.
On a golf course, do you take more pride in a long drive or a putt?
Oh, did you say that again? You kind of cut out. Long drive or long putt was your question?
Yeah.
Because you've frozen on me, unfortunately. Man, a long drive feels really good, doesn't it? I mean, like when you hit a great drive and again, my ball kind of has that little banana curve to it. You know what I mean? But that's as I think about a long drive, I still think about it cruising up the left side of the fairway, fading into the middle. But man, I don't hit the ball far. So like crushing a drive to me is hitting it 250, and that's going to have to roll to get 250.
But if you connect, it doesn't matter how far it goes. You're like, yeah. I mean, a long putt feels good.
Putt, that's what it is. To me, when you sink a long putt, because it's so much more rare for me than hitting, because I can hit drives down the middle of the fairway. I just don't hit them far. But when you make a long putt, oh, yeah, that's the good stuff.
The stuff that just makes us feel good. The UNI basketball team is in action tonight, Ross.
Yep.
And it's their opener. They're taking on Cal State Northridge. When is the last time, I'm going to ask you this, I know the answer, but when is the last time the Panthers made the NCAA tournament? As you contemplate.
Well, yeah, because you got it. Yeah, I'm 2017?
2016.
Okay.
And that was when they had that big lead against Texas A&M, and Texas A&M came back to win. But it's kind of hard to believe for how consistent and how good the Panthers are year after year that it'll be 10 years since they've been in the NCAA tournament.
I think more of an indication of what's happened with the Missouri Valley Conference, in my opinion. Because that was instantly, as I was going back in my head, I'm like, well, it's either been Drake. We had the Loyola run for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the last. I remember where I was that night. I bet a lot, and I see a lot of Panther fans weighing in already. I remember where I was when that happened. I remember the bar I was in as we watched that happen. And everybody, the bar went silent. Like, there's no way this is happening. The inbound, oh, dude. How often do you think Coach Jake thinks about that?
Every single day. Because the losses haunt coaches more than the celebration of wins. And when you haven't made the NCAA tournament since that moment, and the pinnacle, the goal is to get to the NCAA tournament, because I'm sure in 2016 he didn't think it's going to be 10 more years before I'm here.
Oh, my goodness, no. You
know, and so you ask how much he thinks about it. I think quite a bit. Not that you haven't moved past it. Obviously, he's moved past it. But it's one of those things,
dude.
But it haunts you.
I have coaching mistakes from when I coached Little League 25 years ago that haunt me. Why did I have that kid steal? I cost us a county championship one time.
Wow.
Got too aggressive.
That's what Ross does. He's an aggressive.
Too aggressive.
All right. And do we not hold? And this isn't a knock against Jake or you and I'm posing the question. Do we not hold you and I to a higher standard because we understand it's the Missouri Valley Conference, because we know it's a one-bid league, because we know basically you have to win the conference tournament to even get into the NCAA tournament?
That's fair, Trav. I think that's fair that we don't hold them to that higher standard because we all know that the Missouri Valley kind of gets the shaft.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair to say. Like we see what those Valley teams do in the tournament, and we go, man, next year they're going to recognize that this is a better league than it. And then the next year there's 25 SEC teams in the tournament.
Yeah, you're like, well, I guess it's going to be a one-bid league again.
Yeah. You can finish 12th in the Big Ten, and you're still in the running for.
And that's why I'm against expansion of the NCAA basketball tournament, because it's not going to help the Missouri Valley Conferences of the world. It's only going to help the Big Tens of the world, the SECs of the world, the Big 12s of the year to get of the world to get their teams in even more. It's not like you're going to see multiple Missouri Valley Conference teams into a field that expands to 72 or whatever they're talking about. The tournament is fine the way it is. I just wish once the Missouri Valley Conference, 20 years ago, figured out how to break the code and play the right amount of schedule to get into the NCAA tournament, they changed the rules. Said, well, we're going to go to NET ratings. We're going to do all this other stuff to pump out. We're going to go to quad 1 wins. We're going to quad 2 wins. We're going to quad. And then basically they more or less shoved these other conferences out to where they couldn't participate in multiple I mean, there was one year, I forget what year it was. Valley got 4 teams in. I remember the year the Valley got 4 teams in. I think it was Creighton, Bradley, Wichita State, and Northern Iowa, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
And you're like 4 teams in the Valley. And I remember people were pissed off about the Valley getting 4 teams in. I think that was the year Bradley made a pretty deep run. And hell, I mean, the Missouri Valley hasn't done. I mean, Wichita State got to the Final Four. Loyola got to the Final Four. You saw some other teams get to, the round of 32.
Drake had some great runs and some good teams that, again, how many times have we all thought, okay, this is the year that America is going to realize next year they're going to let the Valley have, it won't be it's a one bid league. It's a one bid league.
And it will be this year. Northern Iowa picked to finish second in the Missouri Valley Conference behind Illinois State. But they do tip off the season tonight against Cal State Northridge. Drake is going to be at the Knapp Center. We had Eric Henderson on yesterday. If you missed the interview, you can go back on the YouTube channel, go back on our podcast replays, and listen to that. He's such a good dude. They're going to take on Robert Morris, a team that Iowa beat up on the other day. Drake, an 8.5-point favorite tonight at home. I'm sure our social media manager, Justin Miller, who's knocking it out of the park, by the way. Justin Miller.
Justin's killing it.
You're killing it for us. You're still not getting a raise, but you're killing it for us.
It's funny because, literally on Tuesday, I thought to myself, he's really working for a raise here already, isn't he? He's really knocking
he's like,
it out
damn.
of the park.
Still not getting a raise, but you're knocking it out of the park. He was all excited. We got like 4,000 views on a TikTok yesterday, and I'm like, is that good?
Poor Justin. He knows this game so well. He knows that he can call me and he can be like, hey, Ross, I was really thinking about it. And I'll go, yeah, Justin, you bet, man. You bet. And then he's going to call you and you're going to be like, no, hell no. In fact, I want to pay you less.
This is coming out of sacrifice, but we saw the value in it.
Man, Trav, I am losing you a lot today. I don't know if it's my internet or yours, but I keep
You're fine to me. I mean,
it must be my download speed. Sorry about that. If I keep having you repeat yourself, I apologize.
Dusty says, Trav needs a cowboy hat with that shirt. I can go get one for the second. You know what? You want me to go get one? I can get one. I'll get one for the second hour.
Trav's a brand ambassador for Yellowstone today.
I'm Rip. That's who I am. I'm Rip today. Is this like a grandpa sweatshirt? It's actually a sweater.
No. I don't think that's a grandpa. I think it's a Western. I think Dusty's right. I don't look at that and think grandpa. I look at that and think cowboy.
Dusty, just for you, I will go get a cowboy hat and I will wear it for the second hour. We'll freak Coach Stepsis out. Does your cowboy hat
have a feather?
No, no.
You're a guy that could pull off a hat with a feather.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm questioning my shoes if I should put cowboy boots on to go with this. I do have cowboy boots
because the Skechers don't go with that.
No, well they kind of do. They're the same color.
Oh,
I've got this jeans on, and then the same color socks and shoes as this like beige. It's funny people sit there and go, I need a cowboy hat. Well, I'm going to deliver. I'm one to deliver. But, Drake had to battle back from double-digit deficits on Monday, hoping that the nerves have calmed down a little bit for tonight, right? I mean, you get to play at home. You're going to be at a little familiar territory, and hoping those nerves calm down a little bit. I'm sure Justin Miller, our social media manager, who's not getting a raise, will probably be at the game tonight, so he can do his.
I think you nailed it there, Trav. And we talked with Coach Henderson about that. Being down 10 in the second half of that game, losing the lead right at halftime, going into the locker room, your very first game, going into the locker room down like that, and then you come out of the locker room and you go down 10 points, and then they came back and won. There's got to be something that comes from that. There's going to be some confidence and things that come from that. And now you're at home. Hopefully people turn out tonight to support Drake. Off to a really good start with the way that went down. Go out and beat Bobby Moe tonight, as my buddy Drew put it the other day, and now you're off and running.
You know, you have options tonight. Of course, you got North at the McLeod Center. You've got Drake at the Knapp Center, and then you have Iowa State at Hilton Coliseum. If you are in Central Iowa and you have to choose which game to go to, because you can be a Drake fan and an Iowa State fan at the same time. I truly believe that. I'd go to the Drake game because Iowa State's going to kick the crap out of Grambling. Yeah. That's just a powder puff game, which they're leading Mississippi State coming up in Sioux Falls. That's going to be on. And then they have a little break, and then it gets real. I mean, Iowa State's doing a good job here. They had the two kind of powder puff games. You step it up a notch with Mississippi State on Monday, and then you go to Vegas where you've got St. John's, going to be really tough, and you got Creighton. So, but if I had to choose which game to go to tonight, I'd be going to the Knapp Center because I just think it's going to be a better game to watch.
You're going to learn a lot more about Drake against Robert Morris, and you're going to learn about Iowa State beating up on Grambling. Again, what should happen tonight with Iowa State is you should have a deep bench run. Starters should be out of the game a couple minutes into the second half. That game should be a 15, 20-point game at halftime. And I mean, if it's not like that's a disappointment. But if they don't win this game by 15 or 20 or more, then Cyclone fans will be like, "Dang, what happened last night?" But I completely agree with you. If you're going to go to one of those, head to the Knapp Center, go support the Bulldogs.
I mean, this is the type of game it's going to be. I was kind of doing some research for it this morning, and it may be out now, but just when I was looking for it, I mean, Northern Iowa, an 8.5-point favorite over Cal State Northridge. Drake, an 8.5-point favorite over Robert Morris. There was no line yet for the Iowa State Grambling game because Vegas is going, do we even want to put a line out for this? Do we even want to put a line out for this? Where do you put it? They were like a 30-point favorite in their opener, 35-point favorite. So, yeah, no line yet, but the Cyclones are at home tonight, which, again, should be an easy win against Grambling. The Iowa State women did pick up a win last night, Ross. They beat Southern 85-58. You know, when it comes to women's basketball, especially here in the state, you know, Caitlin Clark got all the accolades, which she should have. Audie Crooks just gets it done night after night after night.
She's the most popular women's basketball player in the state of Iowa, hands down, right now.
Right now, yes.
Yeah. Stolke's probably second, but it's Audie Crooks. Audie, there's just something appealing about her. There is something that is, what's the word I'm looking for here, man? Relatable? I don't know what it is.
Relatable.
Likeable. There's a lot of things I think we could throw out there that there's something about Audie Crooks that is magnetic, and it's easy to root for her.
Let me throw a couple cliche words out there. Blue collar. Because there's nothing flashy. I mean, with Caitlin, you got it all, right? You got the flash, you got the entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not like Audie's good. When I say entertain you, she's going to entertain you, but it's workmanship-like precision with Audie. She was 12 of 16 from the field last night. She had 29 points, 14 rebounds, and and I know they beat the crap out of Southern, but still, that's stuff she does every single night, which is impressive. I wonder if she gets a shot. She'll get a shot, but I wonder if she plays in the WNBA. WNBA is a different. It will be. It's a different animal for sure. Jada Williams also had 17 points last night. Iowa State used a big second quarter, 25-7. Here's the crazy thing: they shot 57% from the field. Ross, they only shot 20% from behind the three-point line and took 22 three-pointers. So, I mean, usually you think that bring your shooting percentage down. They were just so effective in the paint and inside that three-point arc that you still shot 57% from the field. in shooting the 3-ball really, really bad. But Cyclones improved to 2-0 on the season. So good win by Bill Fenley, good win by the Cyclones. And again, a lot of basketball tonight. Iowa State, Drake, and Northern Iowa. Think you'll get over the Nap Center, or is it...
Oh, you know what, Trav? I don't think I have plans for tonight. Might as well try to sneak over there. Yeah. Brian Harden, expect a phone call.
You got a seat for me? You are a member of the press. It will be a game that you talk about.
I don't remember the last time. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I was going to say I don't remember the last time I used a press pass. It was for the Iowa Cubs this year. Yeah, because I ran into I ran into Sam here at the cheese shop not long ago. And he was like, "Hey, come down and hang out with us." I said, "I haven't done that yet this year." So so that was the last time I used a press pass. But other than that, I had a chance to sneak over to Iowa City this weekend.
And you called me. I couldn't tell because you made your decision already when you called me, but I felt like you were calling me to ask for permission.
I was. The first time I called, I was calling to ask for permission. I was. You nailed it. And then I got to thinking of it. You didn't answer, luckily. Because Bill Blank reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, man, I got this ticket for the Oregon game. Do you want to go with me?" And then a friend of mine that I grew up with, Eric LaRose, I grew up with his little brother, Ryan, but Eric has been a friend of mine for 40 years also. And he had reached out to me a couple years ago and said, "Hey, man, I'm tailgating at Iowa games. The guys I tailgate with love your show. If you ever want to come over, I've got a tailgate spot for you." And, I thought this was God trying to get me there. I really did, because yesterday I got 2 text messages. One was from Eric LaRose, and it was like, "Hey, man, any chance you're going to make it up here this weekend? If not, maybe we can hook up next year." And then the next text was from Bill, and he's like, "Got a ticket for you. Do you want to go on Saturday?" So I'm like, well, this is God. This is the universe opening up a window. I can go to the game, and I've got a tailgate, and I got a place I could take my equipment, and I could do the show live from the thing. And then I thought about it. I'm like, you didn't answer, and I got to thinking about it. I'm like, man, it just won't work out. The fact that we go on the air right after the game now, I would have to leave the game at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
And walk to a tailgate, even if it's close. I'm looking at a 10, 15-minute walk. I'm going to miss that part of the game. There's no way I'm going to pull up my Hulu and watch it as I'm walking away. I wouldn't have enough data, or there wouldn't be enough, internet space or whatever you call that. What am I trying to say there? There's not enough
bandwidth. How about bandwidth?
Bandwidth.
Bandwidth.
I knew there was a word for it. I knew there was a word for that.
Well, and I think you know me well. I get anxious anytime things change. I'm not big on change. It has to be slow. It has to be like when you told me you're going to Ireland, I had 3 months to prepare mentally for that. Okay, how's this going to go? Like I'm going to Italy in a month. I'll be in Italy. I have to. You knew that.
I don't care.
But like you just drop. You're going to do the show at Dusty's. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But deep down inside, I'm like, well, yeah, but you're set up right now. It's perfect. And it's like, let's not mess with this.
It's super easy, and it'll be fun, and it'll change it up a little bit. This is one of the things. This is one of those places where you and I are very, very, very different.
Yes,
I like the change. I like to mix things up. And by the way, I won't have the kids this weekend. So if I did the show here, I would literally have to sit here at my house by myself and watch the game.
I don't want you to do that.
That's not
I want you to be lonely.
Right.
We're Courtney.
I'd probably watch it with Courtney. I think she's got her son this weekend too. So I don't know how that would. Anyway, it's just it'll be fun. We'll go to Dusty's. The party will be happening. We'll have Drunk Flag in the background. Are you kidding me?
That scares me.
Are you kidding me? He's probably going to jump on the air with you. He'll be like, Justice! Justice! You see that, Hawkeyes? You see that? I can't
You're giving me anxiety right now.
I can see it. I love
You're giving me anxiety right now. 515-517-2303.
I love making you uncomfortable.
You do make me uncomfortable.
It gives me joy. Why is that?
Jerk.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of mean of me. Sorry.
Hour in the books. Hour to go. This is the Rush Radio Show. The
Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
November's here, and that means Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And here at Willis, we're thankful for you, our guests, for entrusting us with your vehicle and service needs. With holiday season comes travel, and all those extra miles can cause wear and tear on your car. Save that for your pants after all that turkey. While we can't fix your slacks, we sure can make sure your car's in tip-top shape. So come on down to Willis for 10% off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at willisvolvocars.com.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on Tuesday. If you're listening on the stream with the rushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn, thank you so much. YouTube this morning, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and of course leave your comments in the comments section. And you can follow us on our social media channels, because we have a social media manager now in Justin Miller. X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. There you go, Ross. How's that look?
You basically have the feather. The little thing around the brim, that's basically like having a feather.
I don't have a feather.
I'm not knocking it. It's a compliment to say you're a guy that could pull off a feather in a cowboy hat.
Do I pull this off? Do you like the cowboy hat?
That's an outfit, dude. That's an outfit.
Let's get our fashion guru in here. Todd Stepsis. He's got a ball cap on. I've got a cowboy hat on.
I bet you got a good pair of cowboy boots. I think we've talked about this actually, right? That you were an Eric Church guy, or you there was a country music thing that got you into cowboy boots.
Yep. I can't remember which one that was, but I had them on that day. So we were talking about them. I had them on that day, and then it was because my wife went to an Eric Church concert. And so it was, hey, you need to get some cowboy boots. I'm like, yeah, yes, ma'am. Let's get them on.
I don't have a cowboy hat though. Do you have a cowboy hat?
Not a real one. Mine's kind of like, kind of like that one. The real ones are kind of like, those Stetson hats, that you see. Like we went out to Wyoming, I think the second week this season, we saw a lot of the real, those look like thousands of dollars, types of hats.
Did you just say my cowboy hat's not real?
Yes.
Well,
yeah. He didn't.
It's kind of like, I don't know, mine's kind of, I guess it's real, but when I think of cowboy hat, man, like the big ones, those ones.
Yeah. Travis, yours looks like it's felt.
Mine's the one I have is kind of like that one.
Yeah.
So I got this in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I have noticed this. The types of cowboy hats are different based on there's also different types, but I noticed the ones in Santa Fe, maybe this is kind of like a large fedora, maybe. It's not even a fedora, but it's just, it's different than, shut up, Ross.
I think it looks great. I think it's awesome.
I do too. I think it looks great. You really do pull it off. But I can't wear a cowboy hat. I look weird in a cowboy hat. I look weird.
When I was in Santa Fe, I went into the shop where they hand make it, and there was like a 9-month backup to get your cowboy hat made. And you're right, to get a handmade custom cowboy hat is like $1,200.
Oh. That's stupid.
Yeah, I'd rather spend my money on something else. That's for sure.
Amen to that, Coach. Amen.
Yeah, we had this conversation earlier. We were talking about Alex Ovechkin and how he hit a hole-in-one the first time he stepped up to golf. You seem like a pretty natural athlete. Is there anything that you just did that, like the first time out, you had immediate success? Have you hit a hole-in-one like on your first time on a par 3?
No. I've definitely not hit a hole-in-one.
Are you
I like to play golf, and I'm okay at it, but I'm not anywhere near good at that sport. I don't know. If you ask my wife, she overblows that. She's like, everything you do, it looks so easy, but I don't think so. But when you grow up playing a ton of things, like growing up in a small town, that was like the norm. Everybody played everything, boys and girls. And so, I was listening to the show earlier. You guys were talking about like advertisement and influencers and all that stuff. Did anybody talk about Bo Jackson? Do you remember that?
Oh, we didn't. Yeah, the Reebok Bo Nose.
Bo Nose, yeah. I actually, I don't even know, do people do senior pictures anymore? But back in the day, you used to do senior pictures, then you get little ones printed out and you'd hand them out to your buddies and your friends. And I had girls.
Yeah.
With the shoulder pads and the baseball bat, I did that. Black and white, whole 9 yards. So yeah, that one.
Do you still have it? Do you still have the photo? Do you still have it?
The wife does.
So my parents, God bless them. They were our biggest fans. My older brother, my younger brother, and so that was always the running joke at the house when we'd have friends over, and then when we became adults and people would come over the house, they would talk about the Stepsis boys shrine, and so you would see all these pictures of us doing our things, and there is a picture, and it's kind of big. It's not it's not poster size, but it's pretty darn close of that picture. And I don't know. I haven't been. When I go home for Christmas, I'll have to see if it's still there. I don't think it is. But my wife, the first time she saw it, took a picture of it with her phone. And so now when I call, that's the picture that pops up.
I love it. That's
Does she have a name for you on the phone? Like with my kids, like with my wife, it pops up on my wife's phone. Like Mary is the know-it-all, and Greta's the artist. And does your wife have a name for you on the phone that's not Todd?
Yeah, it's actually Coach. So when I met her, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but I met her in Key West, Florida, of all places. So she's from Cincinnati, went to Miami of Ohio. I'm older than she is, I think like 6 years. So we never knew each other, living in the same state. Though my mom grew up probably about 20 minutes from where she grew up. And so anyway, we're maybe 2 weeks before the season. I always like to kind of unplug and get away. And I'm coaching up in Michigan at the time. And one of my good buddies, his aunt lives down in Miami, Florida. And so, hey, let's go down to Miami. We'll hang out at my aunt's house. She'll stock the fridge for us. We'll go to the beach and hang out at the pool, da-da-da-da. So great. Well, we're just sitting there and we're like, man, have you ever been to Key West? No, have you? No, let's go. And so we jump in the car. We drive, 3 hours away, down a really, that stretch of highway is so cool. And first bar we walk into, Irish Kevin's Pub, there's Angie. And so she's down there selling chainsaws, setting up a dealer.
Hold on.
We can get into that too if you want.
I love these stories.
Yeah. So, but right away, that we're talking, we're kind of hitting it off, and she's a sports fan, obviously, and she knew I coached football, so she programmed my number in her phone as Coach. That I don't need to know your name, I just call you Coach, and so it has been that way still today. It's when I call her, it pops up that way on my phone. So.
That's
okay,
amazing.
chainsaws.
Okay.
We got to go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
She
So
worked for Still?
So no. she can do anything. But anyway, so this is kind of how this all went down. So Steel, the company, orange handle, STIHL. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it or not. Steel, whatever. But yeah. So her senior year at Miami, her and her two roommates, best friends, they went on their spring break trip to the Bahamas. And it was right around that same time. Do you guys remember that girl that got abducted?
Natalie Holloway.
Yeah.
There you go. So she thinks it's a great idea to sweet talk her way onto a boat because there's this massive billfish tournament called the Bacardi Open that's going on when they're down there. So she meets this guy, her friends, they're on this boat. And lo and behold, she is on the boat that catches the winning fish. She films it with her phone, which at the time was real grainy and stuff. And that video makes it to CNN or whatever, was covering it. And she saw it as a sign, we got to get out of Ohio. The world is our oyster. This is the time to do it. And so her and her three friends moved down to Delray Beach, Florida, and all got jobs, and she got a job as a territory manager for Steel. So she had 50 vendors. I used to call them dealers, but then it's like South Florida dealers, vendors.
Yeah. It's a different thing.
Yeah, it's so vendors where it was different hardware stores and things like that she would, sell marketing to, make sure that, their display looked good. And, it basically went, I think it was West Palm down through Fort Lauderdale, Miami. She had a vendor in Key West and up through Naples and Fort Myers. So she had 50 dealer or vendors down there. And you kind of think man, what, people need chainsaws down there? Because her territory was the best in the country. When the hurricanes and the tropical storms come and the trees get knocked down, they would sell out all their stuff. And then it's all commercial landscaping down there. No one cuts their own grass or does anything like that. And so all that, so she, for 3 years, did that down there. She would teach chainsaw safety training courses to this is amazing. Hundreds of men, and 80% of them don't speak English because it's Cuban, Haitian. it's a melting pot of a bunch of different kinds of people. And so yeah, that's what she was doing at the time. Met her in Key West, and she was setting up one of those vendors, and she was out on the town with the people in that hardware store. And
that's incredible.
And there we go.
How did you get her to come to Iowa, dude?
Oh, well, first of all, I was in Michigan. And so, I mean, talk about that. Like, she was a few minutes from the beach down there. And I'm trying to talk her into coming up to Saginaw, Michigan, of all places. Which I don't know if you know much about Michigan. It doesn't have a great reputation. It's a great town, and like the Saginaw Bay area there with Midland, which is where Dow Chemicals, located. Bay City's right there on the water, but it's just it's not like, compared to the beach, it's not a thing. And so her being from the Midwest, and this, I mean, Midwest people, Midwest values. I don't know if you've spent much time in South Florida.
No,
it ain't that. It ain't that. So she
it isn't the Midwest. You're saying it's a different world.
Yeah, it isn't. So she missed that. She missed the values, the people, the friendliness, all that kind of stuff. And while I would love to think that, my sweet talking, that's what got it done. Getting her to move up there. I think she was looking to get out. And so, I think we met July 22nd, and then she had moved up to Michigan in March, and then we were married the following March. So,
can you guys still hear me, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do have you.
So the Chrome thing happened again, and it disconnected my camera. So you're going to hear me but not see me, because I'd have to shut everything down, and I'm not going to do that now. Man, all I hear is she ran the Key West wine mixer as opposed to the Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I do want to go back a little bit because just I don't know why, when you mentioned the Bo Jackson thing, it reminded me of a conversation I had with my son last night. A friend of his who is a pretty good high school football player is thinking about not playing football next year, and one of the reasons was because he felt like his coach wasn't supporting him in the other sports that he was getting ready to do. Now I think we've probably touched on this before also, Coach. You're a big proponent of multi-sport athletes.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe football is kind of the last of the Mohicans when it comes to, it's not a specialized thing anymore. Now there's like these 7-on-7s and things like that are popping up now in the spring, but man, usually football is a fall sport, and wrestling is encouraged, and basketball is encouraged, and track and field is encouraged. Shoot, man, some of my best, I had two of the best safeties I've ever had were awesome lacrosse players in high school. And
wow.
I had at Drake, I had an AFCA All-American that he was from Pella, was a 4-sport guy, and he was an amazing soccer player. And I had a guy that was at Saginaw. He was an 8-year NFL guy, and we were the only football opportunity he had. He had Division I soccer opportunities all over the place. So, I don't know. I think that you lose a lot of the fun and competing and just doing different things. And it's a shame because I think kids get influenced, obviously by parents and coaches and peers. And when you get around the wrong people, they give you, I think, bad advice. And, so, man, if it's a coach that's giving them that advice, that bums me out.
Yeah, and I don't know that it was the advice. I think it was when, again, this is all ancillary. This is all hearsay from a sophomore in high school, so no gospel on this. But I think it was just more he didn't feel that support that he was hoping to feel or see there. So that more so that. Coach, have you noticed, because you're getting into this, and we've talked a lot about recruiting with you. Have you noticed a big difference in recruiting here at UNI as opposed to Drake?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It has such a tremendous reputation, throughout the state, Good. Obviously, the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones are 1 and 1A or, 1 and 2, however you want to look at it. But, when you walk into a school in the state, number one, there's always somebody that works at that school that went here.
So
I mean, immediately it's a lot of times it's one of the football coaches, but usually it's an administrator or teacher or something like that. And I mean, again, just like if you look at the history of our program, the iconic Unidome, I mean, we're going to have a bunch of really good teams rolling through here next week. So just everything about who we are, where we play, our history and tradition. It's really cool.
I forgot next week's the week you spend a lot of time in the office just facing the other direction.
Yeah. It was kind of like, maybe we'll swivel the desk around and this could be.
Hey, and I love the Kelly's Little Nipper shirt. Go Panthers, get nippers.
Yeah. Oh, man. I got to give Jeff a shout out. He's coming up here today. So he called me, was it late last week or maybe early this week? I can't remember. He goes, Coach, I wanna come up and feed your team. I'm like, Stark, man, like you're like 2 hours away. Like, you sure? He's like, yeah. So he's bringing his crew up here, and so after practice, he's gonna be grilling some hamburgers and gonna bring up a nice spread for us. Man, he's the best. If you go to the Nipper, again, it's been since last December since I've been, but when you walked in the door, we used to have a big team picture with all of our Go Bulldogs get Nipper shirts on them.
I'm a little bit overwhelmed when I think about walking into the Nipper. I can't, but I do feel like that's probably still there. Yeah, I mean the walls are splattered with stuff over there at Kelly's Little Nipper. That's a fun one. That's cool. I didn't even notice.
So, Coach, I'm gonna have a weird question for you because you've lost 6 in a row. You're playing Murray State this weekend, which has not won a game in the Valley, has not won a game on the season. Is there more pressure on your team now because you're playing a team? I mean, before when you're playing the number 1, number 2, number 5 ranked team, not saying you thought you were going to lose, but you knew the competition. Here, you're like, we got to win this game. Is that kind of is there more pressure on a game like this?
I think at this point, no. I think when you've had a skid like we've had, the focus becomes less on like who we're playing, what their record is, and more about us, and so, the team knows this, and they were the ones that said it, man. The reality is like, they're the same as us. Like, we've both struggled this year. We both, haven't won a game in conference this year. And so, it's not like they're any lesser than us. They're just like us. So, so why not go out there and finally put a game together? I think that's the key here is, the guys, their attitudes are still amazing. And I got to give them a ton of credit because, boy, it's really tough, to put a ton of work in and strain like they have and just not see the results on the scoreboard. But, it's hard to say this and maybe hard to understand it if you're a fan and you're disappointed that we just haven't, had the success as quick as a lot of people have wanted. But, as I start to really, just evaluate and look in the mirror and think of like, man, in hindsight, gosh, I wish I would have maybe done that a little differently. The lessons that we're learning now, I think can really help us in the future, where I just think back, just like for example, we last 2 years, Drake had a ton of success and, we didn't really run the ball all that well. Well, we're going through spring ball this year and we're going through fall camp. We've got all these weapons on the perimeter and if those guys don't get injured, and we're pitching the ball all over the yard and we're having success, like, that issue would have maybe gotten suppressed. And when you have success, it's hard to make changes and it's hard to be critical of yourself. And so, there's lots of things now where, going through this, it's exposed maybe some deficiencies, in myself or how I've handled some things in this year. And our team, I think, is the same way, so that they're kind of like, man, maybe this is something that we could have done differently. And, now moving forward, this is how it has to be, and, when we're walking by certain things and, man, that's the standard if you let it happen. And how can we address our issues and fix them? And those lessons are a lot more impactful when you're losing, and and then when you're having success, you don't necessarily see them as clearly as you do.
I think that's a really good silver lining, Coach. I mean, that you're finding the positive in that. So, these last couple of games, do you and the coaching staff, have you guys kind of thought about what a goal is here for these last couple of games, or is there something that you're kind of shooting for to have by the time we get to the end of November, you guys can say X, Y, or Z?
Yeah, I think number one, this is the perfect opportunity to figure out who really is all in with you, because the adversity that you're going through, all of a sudden, if your team, you can tell who's cashed out, like who's like, hey, I'm moving on, and it's like, man, you really want a guy like that when adversity strikes in real time, like, man, all of a sudden, we're starting to have success. We go up against a tough opponent, which happens every week in our league, and things don't go well. Is that the kind of guy you want on your team or in a role that's really important? And so that for us as a staff, man, really keeping our ear to the ground, seeing, okay, who here is continuing to battle, who here is doing the right things and trying to find a way to improve themselves every single day. And fortunately for us, we've got the majority of the team, in our opinion and in our observations, are doing the things the right way. But I think just these last 3 weeks, we're really going to figure out what we're made of, and then for us moving forward, getting the right people on the bus in the right seats, getting the wrong people off the bus. That's going to be the next step.
Coach, I know you've had an invite for Rob to come to Cedar Falls. We probably won't get there for the season, but after the stories you told this morning, Ross and I may just invade you sometime during December or January. We're going to pull up to your house and say, hey, we're going to have dinner with you and your wife, because I have so many questions for your wife. It's not even funny.
I'd like her to summarize the chainsaw safety demonstration that she
Oh yeah, yeah. She could teach you how to use one the right way, and she can fix them, and yeah, she's pretty cool. Pretty cool lady.
That's pretty cool.
Do you still have a
carburetor?
Do you still have a chainsaw at the house?
We are snobbish when it comes to our yard equipment. We don't own anything but still. So like it is, we're kind of like, it's like a little bit of a cult there, where hey,
who
anything else is garbage.
Who operates it?
We both do. So
okay.
She obviously has taught me a thing or two, when it comes to maintenance and care on those things. But I think it is one of those things where you get what you pay for, so they are expensive, but boy, we've had the same blower, we've had the same hedge trimmer, string trimmer, like 16 years or whatever.
You call it string trimmer. See, I say weed eater.
Oh, weed eater.
Yeah. But I have a still weed eater.
There you go.
Just got it serviced the other day because my dad owned a hardware store when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to that stuff too, and I'm a still guy also. So she'll approve.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you guys are more than welcome to Cedar Falls anytime.
We're going to Coach, thanks so much, man. We greatly appreciate this. Your attitude has just been fantastic, and I'm not sure if you get to see the comments, but man, most of our listeners feel that, all of our listeners feel that exact same way, that it's truly inspiring to see your kind of optimism, the way that you've handled this season and some of these troubles and struggles, and you still got a smile on your face and you still show up with a great attitude, and that's gonna serve you and Northern Iowa a lot here over these next couple of years. So keep it up, man. Keep it up.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you grew up around a good mom and dad and brothers and married to, man, there's a lot to be thankful for and to be grateful for. So.
All right, Coach, we'll catch up with you next week. Appreciate your time again.
See you. All right, thanks, guys.
Go get them.
Coach Todd Stepsis joining us on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Bruno's on hold, and Bruno's he's in the studio. He's probably wondering if something's wrong. Bruno, nothing's wrong with your setup. It's Travis.
Well, but you know what? When I was glitching on you earlier, I bet that was your Chrome browser. Because mine popped up, says Chrome. When it came up, it says Chrome disconnected you. You had problems earlier on, not as bad as I did, but when you logged on today, you were like,
When I logged on, it was a little bit slow and glitchy for a second, but I don't think these problems are on my end.
No. What I'm saying, your early glitches was. And when
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's goofy, but I still can't see you. Dusty thinks that the cowboy hat was too much, and Anjanette showed up in the studio, and you just shut the camera down.
That could have been. No, that matter of fact, during the interview, I got to unplug the camera. I'm like, it full Chrome is shut down, so restart the browser. But if I did that, everything would go away, and we don't want to do that. A reminder that Atlanta Coca-Cola Bottling Company is here for the holidays. The Coca-Cola Holiday Caravan is rolling into central Iowa, bringing thousands of sparkling lights, festive cheer, and unforgettable holiday moments. Since 1997, this iconic caravan has been beloved tradition across the U.S., and now it's Central Iowa's turn to enjoy this. It's going to be in town from November 26th until December 1st, so look out for the Coca-Cola Caravan. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
It's October at Willis Nissan, and the savings this month are scary good. Lease the stylish Nissan Sentra or the versatile Nissan Kicks for payments so low, we call them fun size. And that's not the only trick up our sleeves this month. Right now, you can get 0% APR on Murano and Pathfinder, or take advantage of customer cash. All those treats, and we won't even make you tell us a joke. Visit us online at willisnissan.com or stop into our showroom today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade-up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the Natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Hi, I'm Sean, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. The holiday season is just around the corner, and now's a great time for you to make sure your Mini is ready for any holiday plans you have. Visit us now to take advantage of our $100 mail-in rebate on the purchase of 4 select tires. Visit us online or give us a call to schedule your appointment.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
We do want to welcome Fiskus Jewelers to the Rush Radio family, your local full-service jeweler in Ankeny, 1701 Southeast Delaware, Suite 250, custom design, engagement and bridal, platinum, 18 karat, 14 karat, made in the USA, certified center stones, Fiskus Jewelers. You know, I was watching those commercials over the break, Ross, and I was thinking of Bruno, and I want to bring Bruno in. I saw the Hessen House commercial, Bruno, where they bang the glasses together, right? And you hear the clanks. How do you do that without breaking them? And how many people break those mugs if they try to do that?
You know, it's funny. I don't know what you would call me. I was an expert advisor on that shoot, I guess, and they were like kind of tapping them together. I'm like, get after it. And they did it so hard, they did bust one during that shoot. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It's like, do it like you mean it. Yeah. I don't advise people doing that because they aren't really made for that. I mean, a nice clink is nice, but
yeah,
the smashing them together that hard. I was like, smash them so it's spilling out of the top and over the top. Let's make it a party here. That was pretty fun to be there for that.
What breaks most at a restaurant? Plates or like glasses? And
glasses.
And glasses?
Oh, really?
Yeah, glasses. And, you know, sometimes I've watched where they pull them out of the, they've been washed. That, you know, they get hot, cold. And then sometimes they've shattered in people's hands, like the bartender's hands. It's just like,
oh, my gosh.
But it's tempered, so it's not dangerous. I mean, it is dangerous to a point, but I mean, it's not like it sounds.
See, I always thought it was. I just assumed it was plates because that's what you hear. You know what I mean? Maybe it's one of those things where the multiple sensory deal where you hear it, and so you think, oh, people must drop plates a lot or something. I don't know.
Well, when you have a place that sells as much beer as we do, we tend to sell a few more beers than we do plates of food. Yeah. And then some of our plates are like the bait shop is melamine. It's plastic, so we don't have.
Oh yeah.
And then we've done metal stuff. You know, plastic. We do a lot of stuff so we don't have to do. You know, have them break. It's heavy to carry a big bunch of plates out with food on top. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just practical all the way around.
Speaking of food, I just saw yesterday Ken Payne tagged me in the post from High Life. You guys are going to have the green bean casserole all of November?
Yeah, we do that. Yeah, we do it all through the holidays.
Oh, love it. That's
it just came out.
So
that's
good.
Yeah, that's when it comes out right about now. And then we were meeting yesterday, Ken and I and Klein, Jeff Klein talking about and Brian Duax talking about doing some new commercials. So, oh, there's the dog.
Bruno, I didn't even know you had a dog.
Well, you would if you lived in my house. I let him come in here thinking no big deal. Yeah, he barks all the time. There you go, the first barking of my dog on the show. But if you lived here, it would be like, it's like them. Oh God, I blanked the guy who had pizza at the Fongs, and the Portnoy and the horn kept going off.
He's like, that
and it happens all the time. I was down there the other day trying to have a conversation. But yeah, I did. Yesterday I spent time at Single Speed. Then I went over to the bait shop. Then I went over to the Empire, and then I went over to the Royal Mile. I don't do that very often, certainly not in the middle of the week. It was a lot of fun just to do it. I enjoy my places too much. It's a good thing I don't live downtown anymore. It's sort of like going to our bars or having beers at our bars is like Chips Ahoy. Bet you can't, bet you buy the chip, or whatever is Doritos. You know, bet you can can't have just one.
How many licks does it take the Tootsie Pop? How many licks does it take to?
No, it's like Lay's, isn't it? Lay's. It's bet you can't eat just one.
Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah.
But to the point, the newsletter just came out. A few things in the newsletter I thought were pretty good. They're all good, but I also had my first Tang IPA that we made with Exile, and it smells like a glass of Tang. It's an amazing aroma.
It's all right. You're fine, buddy. It's not loud at all.
And it's wild. And we got shirts coming out. Just one small sip for mankind. Tang IPA. Got an astronaut. It's super cool.
Who came up with the name?
Tang IPA?
No, one small step for.
Oh, one small sip. That was a shirt I came out when we did Tangermeister. So we just.
Oh, okay.
And when we made the beer, I poured the Tang into the mash tun, and I said one small sip for man, and one giant vat of beer for everyone. So that was kind of fun to do that. We're looking to do more. I talked to Toppling Goliath. They want to do a beer with us. We're going to do that. Speaking of Toppling Goliath, we got Cyber Sue, this new Cyber Sue. There's Cyber Mondays at Buzzard Billy's. They're doing $4 Toppling Goliath pints and buy one, get one appetizers on Mondays. So every Monday of the football season so far, Monday Night Football. And then also they got, if you're not a drinker, we got Buzz, get it, Billy's Buzz free mocktails. So we have a bunch of mocktails available there too. So
you mentioned the Tang. Are there any other? Is it limitless when it comes to like beer brewing, like a Mountain Dew IPA? Ross gives me I understand the look you gave, but can you take any flavor and try to make an IPA out of it?
You can do a whole bunch. I mean, especially fruits and different things like that. But they've been they thought it would do something, and when you see like a rooster on the beer label, that might have been an ingredient in the beer. They thought if you threw a rooster in there, it'd give it more body or something. I don't know. It was a weird thing they did. That was a thing that's happened in the past. They still do at breweries use isinglass, which is has no flavor, imparts no flavor, but it's what do you call it? It's fish. It's like fish bladder, and it purifies the beer. It's a way to make the beer more clear. And they still use it to this day. Of course, it's a little bit cost prohibitive and a little over the top. They have other finding agents and whirlpools and all sorts of ways to clear your beer up. But
I remember, Bruno, you'll remember the brewer that did it. I remember this thing that you shared with me one time called Beard Beer. And
Beard
Travis,
Beer, yeah, it's John Mayer, not the musician, the former engineer at Lockheed Martin, who is one of the best brewers in the nation at Rogue. Yeah, he always had this huge beard, and they combed his beard out, propagated yeast from it, and then used it to brew a beard beer, which was delicious, and it had nothing to do with it. It just sounds gross, but all yeast just started out there in the wild, so it could have come from anything. This just particularly came from his beard, which in all reality was the yeast he was probably using in all his beers anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's sort of it's obviously a gimmick. There's a beer came from Norway. It was called Big Ass Money Stout. The two things that Norway was known for, they'd eat more. It's like Des Moines, Iowa. We eat more frozen pizza per capita than anywhere in the U.S. Well,
hold on, real is that a true stat?
Yes, look it up. Look it up.
Got to be known for something.
And then, I mean, at one time, I mean, I know that was a super fact. If you go Norway, most frozen pizza in the world, and they also are one of the richest nations in the world because of their oil and such a small nation. They made a beer called Big Ass Money Stout, and they put frozen pizzas into the mash tun, and then when they were finishing off the beer, they dry cashed it.
What's that mean?
Well, you dry hop beer.
The dry hop is when you literally throw
hops in at the end
into a beer.
At the end to get it, but they dry cash. They put cash in, like literal Norway money, kroners or whatever they are. And then the beer is like 13%. I remember drinking a bottle of it. I share it with everyone on the bus. We were taking a bus down to Peachtree for one of their first times they were open. That's how long ago it came out. It was really good. But there's an infinite amount of ways you can make beers. They've put so many different ingredients over the year. There was a time where hops didn't exist, so they had to put other things in to take the sweetness. If you didn't have hops in beer, it would be really sweet. Even in a Miller Lite or a Bud Light or whatever, they still hop. They have to hop it to balance out. It's like salt and sweet. It's like whatever. It'd be too. You don't want it too bitter. You don't want it too sweet, and it makes the beer go.
See, it was funny because the reason my nose went up when Travis mentioned Mountain Dew is I was like, man, that's way too sugary and sweet and syrupy to add to beer. But that's.
But I mean, if you kind of if you try to make something like that, there's you can get hard Mountain Dew though, right? Dogfish Head makes it. It's weird. I mean, nothing like getting diabetes and drunk at the same time.
And Red Bull and vodka.
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing.
Four Loko, was that the name of the or Bubba Sparks or whatever?
Well, you can still get Four Loko, but it's not the original. The original was a bottle of wine and 3 cups of coffee, the equivalent of the alcohol and caffeine.
Damn. By the way, breaking news: Iowa no longer the per capita leader in frozen pizza consumption. Wisconsin has taken that title over.
Guys, listen, we got to get our shit together, okay? As a group, we need to do better. We used to be number 1.
Yeah, I know it was at one time, but I'm talking about when Peachtree was opening, so that's how long ago I looked that fact up. But yeah, pretty good. We got Bait Shop's got Tackle Box coming up with Exile Brewing. We also have a Octobox with Exile, so all Exile this month. Cool. It's fun to work with those guys on November 20th, and then on for the Tackle Box on November 21st at the library. And Tweed Ride this weekend. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah,
always a good time.
I've been meaning to do that, Bruno. That's one that I've never done with you, and I've been wanting to do that. It looks like such a fun time,
and it's so easy. We go up to we start at the mile. Starts at 1 p.m. We go up to the mile. We go to the mile. We leave at 1. We go up to the state capitol and roll down the hill to Iowa Tap Room, and the ride's over.
I should reach out to Mahari, see if he's got an extra bicycle, because I don't even have a bike anymore right now.
See, you need, you can't see me today, Bruno, but what I'm wearing would have been perfect for the Tweed Ride. I mean, it's
not perfect. Not perfect, Trav.
Okay,
you got to see
fit
pictures.
In more.
Yeah, you would have fit in more than normal, but you got to see pictures of the Tweed Ride, because there are people that nail it.
Go all out. I think that's what makes the Tweed Ride. I've always been interested in it because of it's almost like a Halloween party after Halloween. It's like
it's a rolling fashion show of sorts. I mean, people really get into it. Like period, like soldiers, period, nurses. Just think kind of 1920s, 30s, and they just get really. You got the hat now, Ross. You have to do it.
Yeah, and I've got a sweet coat. I got a coat that is a tweed coat that's badass.
You look like a nutty professor.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, the after of the nutty professor.
I would be remiss if you're not on the newsletter. Sign up. I keep saying it, but I'd be remiss to not mention the Bruno salad is a featured monthly feature of the month at Lucky Horse, along with the Big Lucky Burger and Italian sausage rigatoni pasta. And frozen caramel apple pie. But the feature that I'm looking forward to, or they actually know that I just walk in and say, give me my usual, is the Bruno salad. It is shaved prime rib, caramelized onions, crispy Brussels sprouts, and sriracha mayo drizzle. Now, I don't go for the drizzle. I don't do the drizzle. No, not on a salad. That's it. That's the salad.
Say it again.
Prime rib. Caramelized onions and Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
And then it comes with a sriracha mayo drizzle because people like to do stuff like that. I don't do that to my food.
Does anybody ever say, I want ranch instead? Do they go, I don't want the sriracha, I want ranch?
Kansas City ketchup, White Lady gravy. Yeah, we do that.
Hold on.
I love those.
I like
White
this.
Lady gravy.
What are some other names you have for condiments?
I don't know, but I've seen it on draft before. Ranch. I've seen like people having a tap of
ranch.
I don't know. That's the two that I've heard bantied around at our bars.
So I've got a question for you both when it comes to the ranch. Like, we were having a salad the other day.
Answer
and
is
Lizzie,
gross. It's gross.
No, well, that's fine. But Lizzie's at the house the other day. That's Owen's girlfriend. And she goes, do you have any ranch? I said, yeah, there's some in there. She goes, well, this is Hidden Valley. I go, is there a difference between ranch and Hidden Valley? Because I always just thought Hidden Valley was like the original.
Invented it.
That's what I thought, too. I'm like, that is ranch dressing.
Are you serious right now? Are
not
they
being dead
invented
serious?
ranch?
Oh, I was being serious, and Lizzie going, well, this is Hidden Valley. I thought they invented either that or they just own the brand because they've had it. It's always just been, I want some Hidden Valley.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it can stay hidden.
Yes, Steve and Gail Henson, who owned the ranch, invented the dressing and called it Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. Although other creamy dressings existed, Henson's combination of herbs and spices became the basis for the modern-day ranch dressing we know today, invented in 1954. Had no idea. And then in 1972, Hidden Valley Ranch was bought by Clorox. So here's a bleach company now owns.
So you know it's good for you. I want to make sure I get this in because this is a pretty good one. 159 years. We'll start off with that. There is did you know that intercollegiate sports in America started with rowing? This isn't the 159 years. I'll get to that. Harvard and Yale raced on Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire in 1852. That was the first intercollegiate sporting event. Baseball followed in 1859. That seems early, but it checks out. This is an article by a guy named Bill Murray Jr. I get his newsletter every day. When Amherst played Williams in Massachusetts by the mid-1860s, though, college baseball teams were playing regular schedules up and down the East Coast. Far-reaching effects. In 1866, Princeton baseball team traveled to Rutgers and utterly demolished them 40-2. I guess I didn't. They didn't have the mercy rule. So the Rutgers students were so humiliated. They decided after 3 years they were thinking about it, they wanted a rematch. They invented a game instead of baseball. They wanted to play another game. The rules borrowed from a London Football Association. And so they went on. And so on the morning of November 6th, today, 1869, Princeton arrived to play in New Brunswick by train. They played Rutgers. They played some kind of odd. It was 25 people on each team. 100 spectators gathered.
There were more people on the field than in the stands.
It was like
a Des Moines Metro High School football game.
The game maybe looked more like soccer mixed with rugby with healthy dose of organized chaos. Players crashed through fences and balls kept flying into neighbors' yards, causing delays while they retreated and restarted play. Princeton kicked poorly, and the ball glanced off one side. They went on to play. There's a guy, Captain Big Mike, towering figure of 6 foot tall, 215 pounds, broke the Rutgers formation as they finally scored. They played
towering figure of 6 foot tall.
They played to the score. A final score is 1-6. 6-4 was the final score. And then Princeton figured it out, came back and played them 8-0. But on this day, 159 years ago, the first football game was played. So
who would have known back then it'd be worth billions and billions?
Oh, I know. Like
100
people. 100 people showed. Now it's 100 million every Saturday across the nation.
Crazy. You mentioned the Bruno salad at Lucky Horse. The Drake basketball season kicks off at home tonight. Their home opener. Lucky Horse, a great place to go for your pregame meal.
Yeah, and you can get the salad, add fries. That was a thing I brought to the table on that too. Instead of everyone's like, well, I probably should have the salad. I probably should have salad, but it's like you can just get. We have a salad that has shredded beef, and then you can get add fries for $2 more. So if you're trying to be healthy, that's the way to go.
Man, I need to get back to Lucky Horse. It's been a bit. I went to the library twice in the last week. I remember one of the visits. Went there with the family. Audrey loves the French dip at the library.
There you go.
That's like one of her favorite meals. The second time I went to the library, I don't remember it. Bill Blank had to remind me. He's like, hey, do you remember banging your head against the shelf at the library? I'm like, we went to the library? He's
Probably
like,
too many frozen old fashions.
Too many somethings, dude. It was a fun night.
And don't forget, 'tis the season. Fongsgiving pizza is available. It's a jalapeno cranberry drizzle. Comes with turkey gravy, Dunkin' and drizzle and indulgent. It's creamy mashed potatoes and rich gravy, tender turkey, savory stuffing, and sweet golden corn. Top with cheese, drizzle of cranberry, jalapeno.
You make me hungry every time you come on here. Every time you come on the show, I leave like hungry.
Well, and if you saw the pictures, it'd even be more. I mean, if you got the newsletter, you'd be able to look at. No, I know. I'm just telling all the listeners. Let's get that newsletter in your inbox. It's not like physical mail. You can delete it if you're annoyed by it or get off the list, but it's all there.
It's not
and it's really good. Like they work really hard every month to pull us together, and it shows. It's well done and makes you hungry for the food. I mean, it is what it's supposed to be.
I'm gonna have to have a checklist this next week because I want to get to Lucky Horse to try the Bruno salad. Got to get back to the library because that's just a regular. I got to get down to El Bait Shop and High Life to have green bean casserole. Fong's is one of my favorite lunch spots in Des Moines. It really is because it's affordable. You always get a good meal. I can go in and I can get one of those the dishes or get a slice of pizza.
You can go get brunch at the Mile on Sunday and then ride on the Tweed ride and burn off all those calories.
Sunday is the Tweed ride.
Yes.
Okay.
At 1 p.m., but suggest you get there an hour or two early because it's the fun social aspect of it.
Do you have to sign up for the Tweed ride or do you just show up with your bike?
Show up. Okay. Show up, and then anywhere from 60 to 200 people show up, and we basically what they call critical mass. We basically take over the streets of downtown on a ride through right past the police station, up.
Do you let the cops know you're doing this? To say, hey, we're doing this?
Well, if there's any listening out there, we're doing it, all right? We put signs up. No, we don't, and so far, so good. Hopefully, I don't have to talk to my buddies in the police department to figure it out.
How would that possibly be illegal? We have the right to assemble. Constitution says so.
I think it's sort of like, I think it's because, it's not so much a parade, and we do stop at the lights, although people stop for us and we go through, but I think technically, they could be upset about it, but I'll talk to Chief McTaggart or Paul Prezuk and say, hey,
the chief is Dana Wingers. You might want to.
No,
he's not
Dana retired.
Dana, I didn't know that.
My buddy Mike McTaggart is the new chief of police.
I love McTaggart.
Welcome to Des Moines. Welcome to Des Moines.
I didn't know McTaggart.
That was like almost a half year ago now.
No kidding, dude. I have a great McTaggart story. I saw him light up a dude one time at Bruno. You'll remember the old liquor store that was on. It's torn down now, but there was an old liquor store that was on like in the hood, dude, on Forest.
That's the one where you were like backed up or like waiting in line or something.
We were in line. My buddy Tommy Carter and I went there to get something, and it was a little drive-through, shady liquor store.
Well, drive-through liquor stores,
Oh, dude,
it's like whatever.
I didn't know. Jelly. Tyler says that was a year ago. Man, I am way behind the curve on that. The chief thing. Wow.
Actually, yeah, it's true because he was at something at Hope Church recently, or like at Thanksgiving last year. So
okay, huh?
So
good stuff, man. Have fun on the Tweed ride. Take lots of pictures. We can't wait to see him, buddy.
All right. I will. We'll see you guys. Thank you, and have a great weekend.
All right.
See you,
buddy.
Talk to you soon. See you
Bruno,
Sunday.
join us on the radio show powered by Willis Automotive. Tomorrow, Tyler Kluver is scheduled to join us. We'll talk a lot about the Iowa-Oregon game that's coming up on Saturday at Kinnick Stadium. So get ready for that. Great day, buddy. Hopefully you'll see me tomorrow.
I was just going to say, we're going to see you tomorrow?
Yeah, you will. It's just I couldn't fix it in the middle because it would have shut everything down. We didn't want to do that. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Have a great day, everybody.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hi, Nate Shoesmith with Willis Cadillac. I'm the newest addition to the team. Wanted to introduce myself and let you guys know what awesome deals we have on our EVs today. This month we have 2.9% up to 60 months on our Cadillac Optic, Lyric, and Vistic. For all you Escalade fans out there, we are happy to have 3 in stock right now available. We also have this beautiful blue 2026 CT5V, new for the year color. If you'd like to schedule a test drive, visit us at williscadillac.com or visit our showroom today.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.